Sorry for that. So the recording has been started, and yeah. Okay, so let's record the solution for that problem as well. So in assignment solution, we just wanted to print this kind of format. For that, we defined first a single loop inside that. Like this is called nested loop, loop inside loop. We like used one more loop to print the values, then write it like in this format: I plus j and one space. And this should be, don't forget that this is not right line, otherwise this will printed in a new line. Here is just we are using console.write, and at the end of the second loop we are using console.write line. So the value after this can be printed inside a new line. Okay, and if we'll execute this, we'll get this kind of output that we just logged into. Okay, so I hope, yeah, 0001, 02, and 03. And this is completely dynamic. If you want to print more value, let us say, if you want to make it like 10 by 5, okay, so it's easy, like just change the values of the length. So the loop is like printed like, okay, 0102 till like 9, 0 to 9, okay, a row and column. Yeah, just give me Yeah, so I think we are done with this, and please be on mute so that, yeah. Now, yesterday we were, let's remove this man method and void. Yeah, let's close this. Yesterday we were talking about the dynamic array, and we understood about like we were understanding array list concept. Okay, in the array list we have seen various, like how to define an array list. Okay, various methods of ArrayList, like how to add the values and how to get all the values using for each loop. If you want to get a single value, then use the indexing concept AR.6. And we also discuss some other method of, if you want to remove the value of a particular value, then directly assign that value inside this. And if you remove the value from the index, like third index or fourth index, then you can use this remove add method. Okay, then like how to print the values using concatenation, how to get all the values. We also looked into some interesting methods of array list, just like insert. So add is another method, insert is another method, like how you insert a value at the first index, the value would be this, at the last index the value would be this. And we also analyze the output, like how this is. And to remove the range, directly we have removed that element, or we can say using index as well. And if you need to remove a particular range, like you remove from 0 to 2 or 0 to 10, that kind of scenario we may be required at that time of script development using Selenium. Okay, if you need to clear this, then simply use the clear method. So all these things we have looked inside an array list. Okay, so there are few more methods that we need to discuss today. Just like I told you that, mm, just like I created a new class called ArrayList methods. So some of the methods, even most of the methods that we already have looked into that. That is, I have mentioned over here, just like add, AR to get the value, add to add the value, remove add. That we just talk about, right? So we already have looked into these kind of methods, and we have understood this. Is there any question in these methods? Of these are the array list method. Whenever you use this, you will be more confident about that. So, Aswini, any question, or you want to like repeat anything? I think it's good. Okay, so let me.
I am good
Uh,
over here.
okay.
Just one recap. Remove will remove one of the value from the
Yeah.
list.
Yes.
Remove
Yeah.
at will be removing we have to supply the index number at remove at.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Insert will insert any value in between. So we have to show that where we want to insert that in the list.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
And for remove range, we have to give the range 0 from each to 0, 1 to whatever.
Yep. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So
clear will clear all the list.
yeah,
Okay.
right.
And
And sort
sort
is
will
to
all sort the
yep, to
value.
sort the bit. Yep, you are
Mhm.
right. Correct. You got it correct. Cool. So yeah, to remove the just define directly the value inside this. Remove at just give the index which value you want to remove. If you want to insert, like at which index you want to insert. So index, just give your index number at the end or at the first. Okay. So like it should not be random index. Like you have only three indexes. You have 0, 1 and 2 values inside your array list, but you are giving 10 over here, otherwise you will get an exception. Okay, it should be serially, like where you want to insert a value at the starting, maybe at the end of the array list you want to insert a new value, or in between. Okay, you only have three options, not like at the 50th value and you only have three values. Okay, you got it. And remove range is like from where to where you want to remove, just like three data or for clear all and so that you already have understood. So let's define one more array list. Array list. Okay, let us say AR is equal to new array list. And as I told you that we need to import this from which class it's coming. So this is called the namespace. So we have to select this namespace. Okay, so now the error is gone away. So we have understood these methods. Let me add. So one method I told you that how to add values inside that. So there is one more way through which you can add the values. Just put curly braces out of here and directly enter the values, just like we were doing at the time of array. We can directly add the values over here, just like add one, or let us say 100, 200, 300 and 500, and add one string value just called, let us say, Ankit. Okay. So you need not to write like add one, add two, add three, those kind of things. You can directly add these values inside these curly braces. Always remember this. So in this way you can like do this as well. So let me get the values, whether we'll get the correct values or not. Let us say the count of this. Okay, and then let us print like AR, let us say value third or second. Okay, whatever. Let's execute it and see like we are getting the correct output or not. Yeah, so the length is, the total count is, the size is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and at the second index the value is 300. 0, 1, 2, right? At 2 this value is present. So we may define this in that way as well. Got it? Okay. Now there is one more method called contains. Contains. So contains will give an kind of uh, boolean value, whether that particular value is present inside array list or not. So for an example, array list dot contains method is there. There are a lot more methods, but we'll just discuss the important one that we may require. So this entire, we need to, if we need to verify it, at the time of Selenium, we may need to encounter this kind of scenarios. Like we have lots of element, like 10 drop down values. So you will store all the drop down values inside an array list and will verify. Let's verify if that particular name is present inside drop down or not. Aswini, you encountered manually this kind of situation. Verify that this value is present inside drop down or not. Manually, I'm talking manually. Okay, you have just like lots of values under drop down.
Yes,
uh, okay, let us say Tom. Yeah, so these are the, let us say these are the drop down values, and the whole scenario is like you need to verify if the term is present inside drop down or not. Okay, so what will you need to do, you just get all the elements using find elements, store them inside an array list. Okay, then use this array list dot contains this tom. Okay, if this will be having over there, then we will get true as the output, otherwise we will get false. So we can easily verify like over drop down have this value or not. Let's execute it. Okay, so let's wait for the output and we get, yeah, so like we are not getting any output over here. Okay, let's comment the above first two. We are not printing this, that's why. We are not printing the output, we are just getting it and didn't print it anywhere. That's why we are not got the output in console window. Yep, let's open the console, see whether we'll get true or not. Yeah, we got true. That means this value is present inside, we have stored these values inside an array list. Let us say the value that we haven't stored, like let us say 600. Is 600 is over there? No, we have values till 500 only. Let's execute it and see that what will get true or false or something else or exception. We are getting simply false over here. That means this particular line wants to say that, hey, this 600 is not available inside this list. Got it? Now, so if you want to, as I told you yesterday, if you want to print entire list, then you may use like for as well as for each loop, whatever is your wish. For is easy to use. Okay, it's easy to use. So let us say we have items called collection is array list. Okay, let's use E instead of that is more. Yeah. If you need to print the values, then the value would be like use E. Okay. Let's print these values. You will get values like 100, 200, 300, 500. Ankit and Tom. All the 6, 7 values got printed. Now, there is one more method available inside this. Okay. So, if you will use that, let us say AR dot reverse. Yep. AR dot reverse. Okay. Now, if you want to print these values, okay, you just have used AR and AR dot reverse. Before that, console dot write line, let us say, let's separate it out using some dots and okay, let's print this. Yeah. So you see all the value got reversed. Here the Tom was at the bottom, then Ankit, then 500, and here the first name is Tom Ankit. If you want to reverse the values, then use this reverse method. Got it? You just have reversed the values. So I hope you have understood this. So there are some like properties of this. So that is not that much important, but it's good to know. I have mentioned these inside the spreadsheet as well. So these are the array list properties, just like capacity, how much values that is stored, the count that we already have used, is fixed size or not, will get false over here because it's not fixed size. So these are the array list properties. You may use that. Okay, and these are the methods, these are the important method, most of them we already have used. Like most of the time we will use these methods only that we just discussed, and there are some other method maybe as well. Okay, so I already have mentioned, you may read it out. Okay, and I also put one screen over here in which you will get to know that difference between array and array list. We already have understood what is array, and in this particular you will get to know that what is the difference between array and array list. Okay, so it's nothing like this. I told you that is fixed size or not. This is a simple method, will return true or false. So let us say just print this. Okay, first separate it out. Okay, let's separate this. Okay, let us say AR dot is fixed size. These are straightforward methods, or we can say properties. Let us say is read only. Is read only. Okay. So let's print this just to verify if these are fixed. So we are getting false values over here, right? Because like it's not fixed size. If you will use this method with array, then you will get true because that is the size is fixed, indicating with the other array list has a fixed size or not. No, it's then dynamic array list. We can add as much as values we want. Okay, we haven't defined like three or four over here. This is a dynamic list. That's why we are getting false over here. So you may use like that. Okay, so let us say you have an array list. Okay, let us say you have an array list like this. So this will be showing an error because AR we already have you. Let's say array one. Okay, and you added these three values inside this, and you have one more value. Let us say array list two, in which you have like 400, 500, 600. Okay, you have two array list. So like we already have understood that add methods, okay, and like insert and all. So we can add these to array list as well. Okay, we may get these kind of scenario as well at the time of Selenium coding. So there is a method called ar1 dot add range. Okay, add range ar2. Okay, if we'll do that, let us do this and print console dot write line print these values. Okay, is there any error? Yeah, we need to put this like that. Now add range console dot ar dot add range to. So we are getting write the current line terminator to separate the output stream. Okay, ar dot add range. Let's store this inside a new line. Okay, let us say war ar3. We have created a new array list. Okay, then we are trying to store element I collection is an I collection to the end of array list. Add the element of an I collection to the end of array list. Okay. Argument null exception cannot assign void to an implicitly type. Okay. So I guess we need to define array list over here. We need to convert it into an array list. Then this should work, or maybe like that typecast. No, still showing some errors. So basically, this method like array dot add range, this is used to add basically adding array list in a array list. So it's a simple method. I don't know why it's showing error. Maybe we need to some typecast array list dot add range array list to. Okay. I collection add the element of an I collection to the end of array list. Yeah. So this will simply add the value over here and we'll print. This time we just need to print the AR1 and we should get the entire list over here. This is how it should work. Okay, let's execute it. If we are just printing the values of AR1. Okay, so to print the entire values of AR1, let's get the count first. So now my expectation is that my count should be 6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 5. My count should be 6 over here. Let us see what the count we will get. Okay, and we get 6 over here. Correct. That means what happened if I will use like this AR1 dot add range AR2, the AR2 will be this particular list added inside this AR1. And if you want to like get all the values, let us use for loop this time. So AR1, let's use AR1 dot count. Okay, the value should be less than that. Okay, and print like this AR1. Okay, and the indexing like I. Okay, Let us see the values, how much values. You can use for each over here as well, but I have used for loop this time. So what kind of values you are going to get? Yeah, the total you have six values and 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 and 600. That means all these values got added. Got it? Okay. Now, for an example, you have one array. There are multiple ways to define an array. I already have told you. Let's understand one more way. Let us say int ar is equal to. You may define the array in this way as well. Let us say 100, 800 and 900. So basically this is called array literals. You can define an array like this as well. This will called array literals. Literals, I guess. Okay. So now if you want to add these two, okay, let you can do. Here you have added two different kind of array list, and now in the another example, let's separate it. What here I will do, I'll do AR1 dot add range. This time I'll add array over here instead of array list. So I can add array inside array list. Got it? Now let me check the output. Let me check the count. So the count should be count of array 1. Okay. So the count should, how much the count should be there? Like initially the count was here. Let me write one more line. Initially the count of AR1 here was, if you get the count, let us say the count of AR1 is okay, and let's concatenate this value. So we have calculated the count. Initially the count should be 3. Then we have added AR2 inside AR1, array list 2 inside array list 1. The expectation is it should be 3. Okay. Then we are printing the count after adding to array list. So here after adding, the count of array list here should be 6 because these three values has been added. These three should be added over here, and that we have checked. Now we have again added this particular value inside this as well. So now the count should be 9, 3 plus 3 plus 3. Okay. The count of AR1 after adding this value as well as this value should be 9. This because we have, or let us define one more value over here like 1000. Okay. So the count should be 10. 3 plus 3 plus 4. Okay. Let's execute it and see the output. Yeah, so the count of here, the count was 3, then the count is 6, and now the latest count is 10. Okay, so the thing is what we are doing over here, we are using like adding, let us say adding array list in array list. Okay, and whatever we are doing over here we are adding not array list, array in array list. So we can do these kind of operations as well. Like we need to add two kind of array list or not. So yeah, we can perform this kind of operations, and like whatever you may verify, like you have these two values, you may verify if these array list are equals or not. Okay, you may do that kind of things as well. So let us say, let's verify over here as well. AR1 console.writeLine. Let us say AR1 ArrayList 1 dot there is an equals method equals AR2 वेरीफाई की जो A1 है वो A2 के इक्वल है या नहीं है if will equal then we'll get true otherwise we'll get false so here we should get false because this is different value and these are the different values let us execute it and see whatever we are going to get in between we will get false I don't know where maybe this false okay and if the values would be same like it's 100 and 200 and like 300 at that time we will get true over here is that fine you may check it at your own end yeah in this case we will get false fine and there might be we can clone this as well if you want to create a new array list using the same let me define one more array list over here let's separate this out okay and let us define one more array list let us say ar3 is equal to new array list let's give some values inside this let us say uh, is let us say Sunday and Monday Tuesday and so on okay you have defined some ways and added the values inside this now if you want to clone means you need to create a new array list with the help of the above the same kind of array list you want to create that may be required so how will you do that you will just put days dot clone method is over there is it available or not yeah it's there clone method yeah so this will you will get the cloned values over here means now you have cloned these values and what kind of output you will get an array list object kind of value will get or new array list let us say okay yeah and if you will like you have got a new array list you can give array list over here as well so you have cloned like new array list and days both are same because you have cloned over like this will give an object kind of cannot implicit an object to system dot yeah so this would be type of object yeah there is no such error or you may need to convert it like I'll tell you the casting concepts but you may read it like this also because this will be an object and you need to cast it before using that okay now you can use array list over here okay so you have two array list one is days and it's new array list so both would be same let me print uh, value of new array list not days okay and let us say it's var I in this okay let me print the values of I this can be anything like this is the some variable okay so I want to print the values from new array list although I haven't defined any value inside this I am just cloning I'm cloning this new array list from the above array list that we have defined so let's execute it and see the output whether we'll get right or not we got Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So we haven't printed these days yet. We are just printing new array list. So this is how you can clone. Clone means to create a new array list from the same. Okay. I think that is enough for the array list point of view. That is enough. You will not get much scenario rather than this that we have discussed so far. So you just need to practice this. These are two classes. This is array list concept and array list methods. So the array, some of array list method we already have discussed, and we discussed some new methods just like contains. Okay, we have discussed the reverse as well, like to reverse the values, and we discuss like uh, mm, array literals, and like how to add two different array list, how to add array with array list. Okay, add range method is over there. Add range, just need to use that, nothing else. This method will directly do the operations. Okay, and at the end we discuss the cloning concept, that how to clone these values. Okay, so basically this was the array list, also called like non-generic collection. So there are different kind of collection. We would understand the important collection only from the interview as well as from your daily work perspective. So I'll explain you. Let me open the paint. Okay. So in C sharp, the collection we are talking about the collection. So collection is divided into two type. I'll give you the definition and all, like what is collection and all. But like we have a collection class. Basically, collection is a class. Always keep this diagram in your mind going forward. So we will discuss accordingly. Okay. So this is being divided into two part in C sharp. Okay. This is being divided into the two part. The first one is called generics, or we can let us say non-generic and generic. Okay. So in generic, like I'll also tell you the differences between these and like all. So the non-generic collections are just like array list that we have discussed so far. Okay, and we maybe discuss like sorted list. We will try to discuss this today. Sorted list, and we will have stack. That is not that much important. We will not discuss this stack and queue. We can discuss queue as well. Okay, QUEUE, queue, and we have hash table. These all are collections, just like array list. In array list, we can assign the value in a sequential order, and we can get the values, do some operations. Similarly, all the things are available in these collections, but like there would be something little bit of differences, like how to get the values, what kind of value we'll get. Yeah, and there might, these are the basic things that we can look into. Other than that, there might be some more new non-generic values that we are not required. Okay, from that Selenium perspective, other that they are required for the developers, because we just have to learn this language from the tester perspective only. Otherwise you will be confused. There is a huge amount of things available over here. Okay, and if I talk about the generic collection, there then we'll understand the list. This is written like T over here. So the basic difference between non-generic and generic is that in non-generic we need not to define the data type of an data that we are going to store. But in generic we have to define the data type, so that these are the most used. Generics are the most used collection. Okay, we have to define just like what kind of list you want to store. It's integer or like boolean or whatever kind of list you are going to store. But in array list we haven't giving we are not giving any kind of data type, where we are storing the random value, whether it's integer or boot, double or float, any kind of value we are storing it. So like generally speaking we have to use list more. Okay, and we have like dictionary to store the value is in like key and value format. DICTIONARY, dictionary, where you have to store the values in key and like by comma separate value, key and value. Okay, and we will look into, let us say, sorted list as well. Let's Sorted list is available in both. That means we can assign data type or we cannot assign. That depends upon the requirement. We have option over here whether we can take sorted list with data type or we can directly assign the values. And also like just like queue we have defined in non-generic, so we have queue over here as well, QUE. So we can take queue as well with the data type called. And we have stack as well. Stack, yeah, stack as well. That is not that much important, but I'll write it over here. If we'll have little time, then we'll explain you as well what is stack. And we have hash set. Okay, so these are the things that we need to discuss in collection framework, generic and non-generic. Okay, there are lots of values, other values as well. But like there is from the Selenium perspective, we don't need to require to look into this. That they are like we will not use them. That is not required in real time as well. As I am also working on a Selenium framework, so I haven't used that never. Maybe in rare case we may use that. So that is not that much important. So these are the things that we need to discuss. So I guess if you are good to go, then we can discuss one more concept over here of that we already have understood that array list. So we can discuss sorted list. Okay, you have time. I hope, Swini, can we discuss in less 10 to 15 minutes?
Yes.
Okay. So let me put this diagram over here as well so that you may refer it in future as well. Yeah. Okay. Collection non-generic and generic. So we have understood in details array list. Now this would be easy for you to understand all these things because like initially it may be little tough, like how to assign the value, how to define, but internally now it would be easy for you. So let's discuss little bit about the sorted list. No need to discuss this in detail, just you should be aware like what is the sorted list. SORTED, sorted list concept. For that, we would be require man method. So let us say this is static and void array list. AL array list man. Okay, let's close it. Write and man method public static void man. Okay. There are a lot of things that we yet need to discuss. I haven't switched yet on the OOPS concept, all the inheritance encapsulation. So yeah, because I just want to make your basics clear. Yeah, that would be easy for you to understand all those concepts easily if you are aware of these things. So these are the higher concepts that we are just discussing, like array list and all. If you are aware of this, then they are like objects and these static, non-static, these are nothing for you. Okay. So we want to talk about the sorted list. Okay. So sorted list would be kind of sort list are collection classes that can store key value pairs that we are sorted by keys based on the association. Okay. For an example, if keys are the private types, then sorted is the ascending order of keys. Let me explain you over here. This would be like SORTED sorted list. Okay. So in this would be declared like this sorted list, and you need to define and value key comma value. So you see like this is part of generic as well as this sorted list is part of generic as well as non-generic. That means we can define we can create a sorted list using data type as well as we can directly create this without using any data type. Okay, so let me show you that how we can do that. Let us write this thing sorted list. Okay, okay, and let's use these are called like diamond brackets. Okay, and SL is equal to new sorted list. or if you don't want to use this, let me explain you this first. So it's still showing error. Why? We need to import it from the collection. The array list was present inside the like collection class. Similarly, this is also present inside the collection class. So this collection class has multiple classes. Okay, if you will port, you can you can call the multiple classes over from here. Let me show you. As I told you that we can write it like this as well. Okay, if you will put dot and control space, then you can see like array list is over there, bit array is over there, computer dictionary bits, generics, hash table, okay, I collection. These kind of lots of classes and variables are present inside this. Okay, q as well, this is also inside the collection. Yeah, so these classes are present inside the collection class. That's why I put it over here. It's like that. We are understanding the concept of collection. Okay. Yeah. So now you have defined a sorted list. Okay. If you need to add the values like sl dot, yeah, add. Now it's showing add object key and object value. You can see there are values like object key and object values. So you cannot directly define the values over here like sl dot, just like we did in the time of array list. You cannot give like assign 100 over here. So 100 is a value, but before that you need to give an key as well to this particular value. Let us say key 1, or let us say key, or we can need to define a unique name. Let us say 1, and yeah, at which position it would be. So you need to give like key, and then you need to store the values. Just like sl, let's add one more value on the key to 200 is stored. Okay, and sl3, let us say 300 is being stored. Okay, so we have stored these values inside this. Okay, you got it. So always remember that key must be unique and cannot be null. Always remember few things is like that. Key must be unique and not null. You cannot keep it empty. Like I'll directly assign the values, and value can be null or empty or duplicate, whatever you want. A value can be null or duplicate. Okay, you may keep it empty like that, or you may like put a duplicate value as well, just like you have again assigning 200 to it. Got it? Okay. And or other thing that you need to keep it in mind, well, if you need to like get the values just like we are getting the value, just use the key. By using this key, by using 1 you will get the value of this, by using 2 you will get the value of this. Okay, I'll explain you that as well. And we can also define the element type that I'll explain you. And okay, so these are the things that you need to keep this in mind. So this is coming under this particular namespace, system.collections namespace. Okay, namespace. I'll also explain you in the next sessions as well what is namespace. But like remember that this system.collection and the similar collection is present for ArrayList as well. Okay, so now we have understood this. We need to keep this point in mind. We we have created these values, and now if you want to get these values, then what you need to do, and like as I told you, just we are doing in uh, array list, we can directly define the values in these curly brackets. Okay, we'll see that as well. Now if you want to get these values, then what you need to do that I already have told you. if you want to print these values, if you want to get all the value, or let us say single values, then what you need to do that, just say sl dot uh, okay, you need to just put the key value inside this, let us say 1. Okay, so if you'll put like this, let's print this console dot write line. Yep. Okay, if we'll do like this and let us execute this, what are the output we can expect over here? So we have got 100. So how you will get the values? You just need to you just need to define the key value over here. Got it? Like if you will, this is not the index number, or always remember, if you will put 0 over here, because we don't have any key. Do you have any key with the 0? No. So this will not treat like an index. This will completely, always remember, sorted list always works in the key value pair, just like I have written over key and value. Okay, this will work in the key value pair. So if you will try to get the values from 0th key, then there is no as such key present, so you will not get the output, you got null. Okay, and yeah, so now let us execute, or let us get all the values. So for that, if you will use, we already have understood the for each concept. Okay, now if you want to get all the values from here, so it's very simple. Like what you need to do, you just need to define the collection that is present inside SL. Okay, and the items, or let us say E. So always need to get so here you need to be understand, like always remember that we are not using key value pair over here. Okay, you need to keep this point in your mind. Okay, so these value would be assigned, let me do like E dot key, you can print console dot write line. Let us say what you will get inside this. We have closed that. Yeah, we have closed. Let us say what kind of output you are going to get, and then analyze that, why you get that. So you are getting system.dictionary, these kind of values, because we haven't defined any key over here. As I told you that this will not work as an indexing kind of thing. So we have to define, if you want to get the values, then we must need to define the keys. Otherwise you will not get able to get the values. Okay, so how you will define the keys to get the values on, as you know that on first key this 100 is available, on second key this 200 is available, on third key like 300 is available. So if you want to get these values, then how you need to do that? Any idea? Do you have any ideas, like I need to do in this way or that way? Okay, so let us say we have this is our reference variable that we'll get. Okay, if you put inside this, you need to get sl dot values keys. Okay, if you will use this, then what kind of output you gonna get? You will get all the keys. Okay, 1 2 3 4. Okay, so in this particular thing you are just getting the keys only, but you want to get, the values as well. So if you'll put like, instead of keys, if you'll use like sl dot values, then all the values will get printed. But our requirement is that we want to get both values as well as keys. Okay, so you understood that, like by using, you need to define it, like from this particular thing what do you want, you want keys or values, because this time we have two kind of values, not a single kind of values. Okay, so you need to define it in that way only. Okay, so if you want to let us say, let me check it out. If you want to define, if you want to get the combination of key and let us say values, then what you need to do, just say you have defined all these values, just key and values. Let us say we have keys. Okay, and like this concept I'll tell you later, because otherwise you will be confused. I need to discuss over here the key content concatenation concept, and that will be false under the dollar sign and all, so you will be like confused in this. Let me comment it out first. Let me try to explain you that if you want to add, just like you have added these values, let's define one more sorted list over here. And if you want to add direct values inside this, then what you need to do, you just do it in this way. Just like the key is 2 and the value is, let us say, 100. Okay, so now you see that uh, this is showing some sort of error, so you need to took one more curly braces over here. Yeah, so you have to make the combination like this is a key and value pair. Then just put a comma over here, again define the curly braces, and let us say, so key could be anything. It's not like you need to start it from 1 or 0. You can define any key, but always remember this 100 value is assigned to this particular key only. If you'll get the value of 2, then you will get 100. Okay, if let us say you have defined the key as like 55. Okay, so you will need to give the value over here as well. Let us say you have given an string, not integer kind of values. Okay, so these both are same and different as well. This is an string and this is an integer. Okay, let you can put some name over here as well. Okay, SL1, let's take it and define one more key and value pair over here. Let us say you have one key called, let us say, 1, and the value is, you maybe have like 12.33. So we are discussing non-generic sorted list, and later on we will discuss the generic as well. In generic, we will provide the data type in diamond operators, and as I told you that what kind of data you can store. You will define my key should be integer only and my value should be string only. Then you cannot define these kind of values over there. So we are just right now we are discussing the non-generic sorted list. That's why you can put anything, like you can put an integer number, you can put an string value, or you can put an float or double kind of values over here as well. So yeah, you can do in this way. Okay, so now if you want to just as I told you that above, if you not need to get sl1 dot, okay, if you want to get the values, just need to define the value of key and you will easily get the values. The key is, let us say, 55. Okay, and let me print this console dot write line. Just say you are getting 55, and I already have told you the concept of concatenation. So let us say use AND operator over here, and you want to get the value of SL1, the value of, let us say, key value 2, and plus plus. Let's use AND operator. Let us say the value of 1, SL1. Yeah. If you want to get value of 55, it should be 100 and 2 Ankit and 1 12.33. Okay, this kind of value you should get as an output. Okay, let us check it out. Yeah, so you got 100 and Ankit and 12.33. Got it? So yeah, these kind of values you will get at the time of sorted list. So yeah, similarly, just like we have understood that the array list, this also have some methods in which we can get the value, we can verify if that particular value contains or not, key contains or not, value contains or not. We can add value, we can remove element from sorted list as well. Okay, and as I told you that we can define different kind of um, like generics as well. Generics means data type. So all these things we're gonna discuss tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll explain you this particular thing in this detail. So I would request you to join class tomorrow as well. Otherwise, our syllabus would be delayed. So that at least we can discuss little bit about these generics or non-generic, I would say, like collections that are going to be like used frequently. So are you guys, Aswini, are you available tomorrow as well for like 1.5 hour as we have Saturday tomorrow? Let me know. Please unmute yourself.
Yes, I am available. Um,
Mhm.
but I have to go through all this array list and all. It is too much for. Yeah.
Okay. So you want to have it on Monday?
Yeah, basically I have to go through all this array list. Otherwise,